Breaking fresh off the press. Hit the like button coming through the door, ladies and gentlemen. The Cash App is Carcino. Don't forget to support the page at all times. Hit the like button. Hit the like button up. Oh, my gosh. Now, what's at stake here right now? What's going on? We got major developments happening in the National Basketball Association right now. After last night's, well, not yesterday, but the last weekend that just took place, the NBA All-Star weekend kind of came out flat and looked at and viewed all around as a disaster instead of a celebratory moment for the National Basketball Association. It has not turned out that way. And because it did not turn out to be that way, a lot of questions was asked about how much money was lost, how much was going on. They had a meeting yesterday, and while the players, got this time off, the executives don't. So the executive meeting and the board, there was a lot of talks and a lot of developments happening yesterday that we were not privy to, but those in the media should have known that this meeting took place. And this meeting is about what's going to happen for next year, because the All-Star game and everything around it and that's surrounding it is very important to how they're going to move in the future. Like, I wasn't even supposed to be making a video right now. I had things I had to do today. So because of that fact, these are the terms that were laid out before me. I had to go live like right away. So I can't even make this a long video, even if I wanted to. Drop a like, good people. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Now, what's happening with Silver Slipper and what's happening with everything in development? Well, let me go ahead and tell you. Oh, yeah, Grace Mercy, I got to go and unblock you, your original Grace Mercy page, as soon as I can. Now, here's the thing. The NBA ran into a big problem back during the pandemic. Well, I'm going to say that. That's going to be for the Patreon. Sorry about that. Sorry for the even tease. But something happened during when they did the whole pandemic series and all of that. Something happened. We're going to go through that on the Patreon. But that was to lead up to where we are now, to why they have these meetings. Ever since the pandemics, and they've been back, the dynamics have changed. And since those dynamics have changed, everyone has been coming up with meetings to look for the very next year. They don't think about what's going to happen in 2 weeks. No, this is about next year, because this is the last year under the contract that they have continuously right now. So because they're in this last year of this deal, everything is starting to spin in a different cycle. So the major developments that the board wanted to know was, why wasn't Bronny James into the Rising Stars? They didn't understand why he wasn't there. Why wasn't Bronny James in the Rising Stars? The board is like, we spent all this time, with the marketing and promotion of this kid. And if he's one of the Rising Stars, it's best to have somebody in there that we get a lot of pull on social media for the All-Star weekend. This is a way you can incorporate Bronny James being in the All-Star weekend. Just throw him on the Rising Stars and let him play. What would have been the problem? That would have been a lot of excitement. It would have been a lot more trending notions on social media, a lot of things. And they said, oh, we didn't think about that. Plus, we didn't talk to LeBron James. And I found that very weird. Bronny James is a player in the NBA, and you got to talk to his daddy. You got to make sure it's okay with his daddy. He has his own house. He's an adult. He's a player in the NBA. Why would you have to talk to his daddy? So Bronny James ended up not being on the rising stars, right? So the board wanted to know why didn't that happen? So that was in discussion. But they're talking about next year. The whole talk is, do we have an all-star game next year? That was in the discussion, y'all. That wiping the entire weekend, just saying we're just going to take a weekend off as a break. Nothing for the whole weekend. And then they just go back. That was in discussion. Oh, we're going to get to that. But you're wrong, too. I'm going to show you what it actually did and what the problem really is and why there is a rush to try to find a new format, because they're going into a new deal and a new structured contract. Okay. Here's the deal. Now, it was very close with Adam Silver not being the commissioner, and he doesn't really want to do the job anymore. He doesn't want to be the commissioner of the NBA. He really doesn't. He's forced to be the commissioner of the NBA right now. And I'm going to tell you why he's forced. That he almost was replaced. A lot of people thought he was going to get replaced by Bob Iger and he was going to take the Disney job. That was intriguing to him, to take over at Disney for Bob Iger. But with this international deal taking place, the boards and everybody believes that having Adam stay there to negotiate this thing is best. Okay. Now, I was going to save it for the Patreon, but I feel I might as well tell you here. The person that was going to take over for him was the CEO who didn't want the job. So Mark Tavern was supposed to take over. I mean, Mark Tatum. Mark Tatum, who's the CEO of the National Basketball Association, they wanted him to be the successor of, and he's like, no. That's like a demotion for him. Why would he take that role? He does not want that role. So they believed in Adam Silver, and that's why he has a 10-year contract. His contract is not up until 2030. This deal is going to take him all the way to the end. So in 2030, they're going to have a time to find a replacement for him. Now, Adam Silver has a very streaky record. After this All-Star game, people were calling for his resignation, but that's fans. That's not going to happen. Now, we'll explain more about Tavern and the thing that happened with the pandemic a little bit later. Now we need to keep the focus right here on what's happening at this meeting. Now, at this meeting, everything started to go left, okay? Everything started to turn on its own head and go left because they felt that they were not talking about what's really the problem, and that was fixing the actual all-star format. They said this was the trial run to see what we could work with and what we couldn't work with. Now, what didn't happen, what was supposed to happen, was the Steph Curry shootout with the girl. They're supposed to do the three-point shootout again and do all of this back and forth with the girls and bringing WNBA involvement into it. And they say, well, that's what Friday is. Friday is supposed to be all that activity. Now, they've turned it into a circus. But the main problem was it was so many stoppages of action. They had all these big corporate events, as this guy said. The NBA didn't lose money over the weekend. No, they really didn't lose money, but they lost money. They lost more than money. Then they lost the innate value of the All-Star game, which would allude to them losing money in the future. That's less and less people flying out, getting hotels, bringing their family out to see All-Star weekend. You see, that's where those corporate events that you're talking about, that's where they make their money from. They have a big event there and have a lot of people show up. These corporate events make their money off the people, right? So ad revenue. Now, they showed and had so many breakage of action and it was 20 minutes and thousands of commercials shown, and players are just standing around like, why are we playing? Why are we doing here? They had to extend it because they weren't ready. They had to show all these ad revenue, because when you play to a certain point level, well, now you're not playing at time. So now y'all didn't show all these commercials that you need to show because you want to get your ad money. So now Kevin Hart's got to stand out there and continuously talk longer than he's supposed to talk, and he just flubbering, making stuff that ain't funny. Yeah, Shaq. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look at his shoes. It's just, and it was like boring. And you see players, and Dame's going for his three-peat for his 3-point shootout title. He's like, he don't even care. He's like, They show a picture of him. He's yawning. He has no enthusiasm. It was bad. And this was the brainchild of Stephen Curry. And that was known publicly because Draymond Green publicly destroyed this thing, gave it a 0 on the chart. And this is what they discussed also going into the new deal. Media, NBA media. Everybody who the NBA is hiring to be their media correspondents will not be allowed to trash the product on the court. They want to control the media. This is why they want to get rid of the format that they have in the contracts with TNT and the Chuck and Kenny and all of those. They want to end all that. But that's why we like Chuck and Kenny and Ernie and all those guys on the show, because they kept it honest. And if you can't have fun with it and keep it honest, they were holding on to your core audience of your fans. You let them go, that was like, all right, you're going to lose a lot of core audience of the people that would watch the games. So now the media will be changed. The rules will be changed next season. Where the NBA media, there won't be more NBA players on the microphone, meaning active NBA players. That's going to be a violation in your contract, that you're not doing your duties to promote the sport with, I forgot what the actual rule is, but there's actual rule in there for this. They have not really enforced it, but they're going to say that. You're talking against the league and putting down the game that's paying you. So, yeah, they're going to start to enforce that now. So now we're going to have a lot more glazing. They were like, look, we glaze LeBron because, well, they already have this rule, and to protect themselves for this rule, they'll tell what they want to say and say it, and then they'll say at the end of it, yeah, but LeBron is one of the best players in the world, so that when it comes down to it, they be like, look, I said he was the best player in the world. I mean, what more you want me to say? I said that, and I said LeBron is still the best player in the world. So, right, they have it in there. Yes. Oh, yeah, they're not going to criticize the players the way TNT did it. They're going to be more retroactive in promoting the game the way that they feel that promotes the league. And they don't feel the way it's being handled now, as far as putting NBA players up there to just talk recklessly about it. And here's the thing. This isn't the 1990s, okay? The internet dictates, not the media and the people that's calling the games. Half of the people don't even listen to them. They listen to a podcast while the game is on. They rarely listen to that stuff. So it's a whole retroactive thing that they're doing. Yep, it's retroactive, not radioactive, retro. Yes, it's too much catering to the players. But Adam Silver's put this ball in motion, so he's got to play it out. There's no changing it. The game sucks. The gameplay sucks, and the people know it. And it's very hard to put the genie back in the bottle unless you go back to tightening the screws. Now, what Adam Silver did, and this is what the board discussed too, is with this whole Luka Doncic move, right? This was a move out of panic. They were already trying to get Luka Doncic over because they're not going into this new deal with NBC with the whole plan, and the layout is we're going to market this game around a 40-year-old man. We're going to take a 40-year-old man as the face of the league and let him lead us to the next level. Now, another thing the board brought up, they went by the Bronny James. They looked at all the trending things in the season, the things that they got a lot of feedback from in a positive way. Ja Morant, why wasn't he there in any capacity through All-Star Weekend? He's only third in the whole NBA in popularity. Why wasn't he there? He averaged 20 and 7. He needed to be there in some form of capacity. Why wasn't he there? See, this is why this is the problems that they're going to be faced with forever, is people pulling out. And he says, I don't understand why LeBron James pulled out so late and why did they hold that so close to the chest? If you knew LeBron James wasn't going to play, there was a chance he wasn't going to play. We could pull him out now because you didn't use him in any marketing for the game. He only did that one interview before the game started to say he's not going to play in this. Okay, well, now he's taking up a spot that could have went to where everybody's saying Norman Powell, but did you forget Ja Morant was sitting at home? Ja Morant could have been on that court. No, because what you don't understand, that this was the meaning of it, is that is this going to be the new format that we're going to move going forward? What are we going to do next year? Are we going to have this thing next year? We need to start having the discussions now, because if we're going to plot this, it can't not be this much dead time in between actions. That's why the board has these meetings. See, when the players are sitting off for the week, the board got to work. They're working on next season. They're working on all the issues that they got to deal with going into the new deal. Okay? And NBC wants an all-star game, so it's going down. There's no way they're not going to do the all-star game. But he's like, look, are we going to do this? Are we going to be Xing out all of these millions of dollars for this all-star weekend? Are we really going to do it? Okay, here it is. We got the Golden State Warriors facility, and we didn't even sell out. They didn't even sell out this year for the All-Star game. There was tickets available. There was a lot of packages available. They did not sell out at all. This was not a good turnout. And that was before LeBron James pulled out. Well, they looked at their biggest trending stars. Luka Doncic was the biggest trending star for the past 3 weeks. He's injured. The guy he was traded for, Anthony Davis, he's injured. LeBron James, he's injured. Giannis Antetokounmpo, your other superstar, he's injured. So 4 of your biggest names are injured. They're not even playing in the All-Star game. But what do? You're showing the commercials. You're marketing Giannis, Luka. You're talking about the Anthony Davis trade. You're talking about why are you marketing this thing? Luka's just got back. He's not even 100%, but he's not playing in this game. He's not even there. Leave Luka alone right now. Focus on the people that made it. See, this is where they went left. And it got completely out of hand. Now, here's the thing that they brought up in concession. They said, okay, we're going to stick with this format next year. So Stephen Curry is MVP this year. He had 12 points. He's the MVP. Is this what we're going to do moving forward? MVP with 12 points. This is what, because we set the score at 40. So now they saying they're going to tinker, see what they like, and tinker with what they like going into next year. Now, NBC is going back to the original theme that they had back in the 90s. That got people excited. So it seems like NBC wants to rewind things back to 1990s when they were killing in the ratings and they were making all the money because they focused on the game being a series, like a television series. That's what they do. They won Emmys for it. So they were going to win an Emmy for making a series out of the NBA, and it worked. Michael Jordan and the Bulls were the stars of the series. Everybody else, they were the co-stars. Jordan was the hero. They were the villains. It was WWE theater. The Knicks are the bad guys. The Pistons are the bad guys. The no good Portland Trailblazers trying to take down the noble Chicago Bulls. Reggie Miller and his Indiana Pacers trying to take down. You think if anybody tried to beat the Bulls, they was wrong. For trying to win a basketball game against Michael Jordan and the Bulls. They were the bad guys. And they sold that everywhere around the globe. That's why the Bulls were so big. They weren't just big in Chicago. They were big everywhere. Because they were made to cater the league to Michael Jordan. And Jordan could deliver. Unlike LeBron, you gave him everything in the book. That bum just can't deliver because he's not good. He's manufactured. Shouts out to HD. Don't forget to subscribe to him too. Welcome to HDIITV. Man, I can't wait. I don't know if Tennessee plays USC. I would love to see that game. I want to see Spear and Juju go at it. That'll be my showdown. Exactly. So that's what NBC wants to do. But now NBC has other partners that they don't even work with. They got to do their thing, and then the other partners are going to be doing their thing. You got Amazon involved. You got all these people involved now that has never, ever had the NBA before. So, yes, everything is contingent on this All-Star game weekend, but it's not the only thing they need to talk about that's in development. What they were doing was making money off of the Bronny James. Bronny to the Lakers. They don't care. They hope Bronny James could do something. If he could just get on the court, they're making money because people are buying into the celebrity. They're not buying into Bronny James. They're buying the celebrity of Bronny James. They're not buying Bronny's going to be a player. Bronny is a G League player at best, and he's not really that great at that. They're just running plays for him. But he's not an NBA player, like a superstar player. If he does anything, he would just be a role player. He doesn't have the tenacity. He lacks a lot of these things that you would need to be an exceptional player. But because of his father being LeBron James, I don't blame the NBA. They're going to make as much money off of it as they can. That's what they're supposed to do. They're going to push their bottom line to the top. Because why would you not? Like I said, we're going to talk more about Mark Tatum and what they wanted to do with him and take him in there. In case you didn't know, Mark Tatum, he graduated from Cornell. He was the COO, now he's the CEO of the NBA. And he's Hindu, and he was going to be the new. He's not going to be the commissioner, but he was going to be the temporary person so they can find someone to be the commissioner. Now, this was already in discussion along the way. Mark Tatum is light years better than Adam Silver. Okay? That's a Harvard business graduate, business school man. He knows his job. Like, he's worked at DirecTV, he's turned corporations around. Mark Tatum is the guy. All right? He knows his stuff. This is why he feels this is pretty much a demotion for him to be there. He's not going to take that job. Plus, the governors don't want him to take that job. But Adam Silver was really thinking outside of doing something else besides the National Basketball Association. He was ready to move on. And the Disney thing sounded very attractive, with Bob Iger stepping down and bringing Adam Silver in to take his place. But because Disney was losing so much money, the people and the stockholders was very sketchy about changing. They want Bob back because the guy who Bob left the company to threw so much money away and they was losing. They had to get Bob back in there ASAP. Bob had retired. Bob's like, what the hell? He's like, Bob, you better get back in there. Somebody's going to die if you don't get in there. So Bob had to take back over. And now Bob Iger is right back in there. They're like, Bob, the shareholders are more trusting with you in there. And see, the board, they want answers. You got to answer to why these numbers are so low this season compared to last season, and why these numbers are dramatically low. And at the All-Star break, they're looking at this as the halfway point. So just like any market would do, you're looking at it in quarters. So you're like, okay, and this is the end of this quarter. Let's get to our quarterly report. So that's what's happening right now with the NBA. So these massive developments are happening because they're going to make some serious changes when it's not just the All-Star game, the actual format, the amount of physicality. Now there's going to be more on national television. Are we going to let the players be a little bit more aggressive? Fans seem to like that now. When before it was, oh my God, they're just too aggressive. Now they want a little bit more attitude out of the players. So they're allowing certain things to go where they usually would, flag all of it. And they say, well, only thing we care about really on television now is language. He said, even that's gotten a little looser, but NBC does not. They want to kind of tone up the language. They felt ABC had the mics on the players a little too much. And he's like, the mic doesn't need to be on the players as much. It needs to be more with the announcers, the people that's calling the games. We don't need to hear what the players are actually saying. Our announcers need to tell the audience what the players are saying. That's what he's like. We having too much access on the players, and it takes away. People in the heat of the moment is gonna say anything. Next thing you know, it's on the internet. It's a problem. He's like, can you imagine if Michael Jordan was mic'd up? Michael Jordan was mic'd up all game, or somebody caught him on a hot mic. Michael Jordan said some things you wouldn't believe, and that goes against the brand and everything else. So, it makes him look bad. But nope, we just thought Michael Jordan drank Gatorade all day and wore Air Jordans all the time and drove a Chevy Blazer. So, no, there's going to be a new commissioner coming soon, but Adam Silver was not going to be fired. He would step down, if anything, but after his new deal is coming up in 2030, Adam won't probably be there. He's going to step down, and they're going to anoint a new commissioner. They have a couple of guys on the wait list, but Mark does not want that job. Does not want to be the commissioner of the NBA. The commissioner makes a lot of money. I don't know what y'all talking about. Adam Silver makes bank. But it's a very, very challenging job. But they want Adam in there because of his international connections, with the guys from London and France. And Mark has those same connections too. But, who's going to sit down with those guys better than Adam Silver? Now, the G League, that's the other thing that's on the table. The G League actually had a very promising year, and especially their team that they got in New Mexico. And they were calling for an NBA expansion team. They want to not just have a G League team, they want to have a team there in Mexico City. So that was on the table too. Are we willing to expand in Mexico City? The people have shown they come out in droves to support the G League team that they have in Mexico City. And they want to see not just an exhibition game over there, they want to see and have their own team. But one thing that Mexico City requested is that they want somebody from Mexico City to be on that ownership. They have to have ownership of the team. Like, they'll partner with somebody, but it has to be somebody from their city. That's something that in demand that we who have the power of, because we attend these games, we don't use our power like they just did. They said, we're supporting this team and we're supporting these games, but we don't want y'all to send over a white owner to our Mexico City team. We want somebody from Mexico City, and we got buyers. We got rich people here with money. So don't think like we ain't got money and we're just some dirt poor people. We got people here with money, like real money, and they've been vetted by the NBA. And even Adam Silver said, yes, I know. They've approached us, and yeah, they're on it. The people there are in unison because they know what they're fighting for. They know how important that is. See, we are not unified being Black people, that we are 87% of the people on the damn floor, and yet we're sitting there not using our power to dictate what we should have respectfully anyway, which is the opportunity and the fair shot of ownership. And here they are, they don't even have a team. They got a G League team. And they're saying, look, if we're filling this stadium up, this is what we want in return. That's how business is done. How many Mexicans are even in the NBA? One. So let that sink in. And they already making demands on ownership, and Adam Silver's listening. So that lets you know right now where your staying power is, what the power is that you possess. You see, they never aired that interview over here in the United States. That happened in Mexico City. Adam Silver had to sit there and answer their questions with their media, and they are not trained to say all the things that they want to say. And they know that. That's why the NBA never aired it. ESPN didn't pick it up and rebroadcast that interview nowhere. So Adam Silver had to talk to those people directly and answer them truthfully. They didn't want that out to the American people. Hit the like button, good people. Hit the like button up, because y'all deserve to know the truth out here. You have not been spoken to honestly for years. That's why I'm telling y'all, make sure y'all hit the like button up, because it's important. They have been dishonest to you at every turn, and you've not been getting your fair share. But they have been catering. Nobody has been more catering to the players than Adam Silver. He is pro player. David Stern was plural league. And we probably didn't like it, but it was good, and he was stern. You wasn't going to mess around with David Stern. You wasn't even going to ask him nothing stupid. You already know. You already got daddies and parents that you know you ain't going to go up to and ask them nothing because you know what that answer is probably going to be. That's how it was. He was like they daddy. They wasn't for to ask David Stern nothing. Adam Silver, they run right over him. He the stepfather that comes over and just don't want to be hated. And you just run right over him. LeBron be, hey, Adam, hey, what's up? You think I can, get my car and park it right here, in the emergency driveway? I know it's emergency, but I'll move it if it's an emergency, but like a fire truck come, but it's kind of cold outside. I don't want my car to be, getting that cold and freeze up on me. You don't mind if it come in here and, get warmed up. All right. Okay, cool. Thanks, man. I know I count on you. Sure, Brian. I mean, it shouldn't be too much trouble, right? No. Okay. I'll let them know. And if it's an emergency, well, sure, we'll move it, right? Of course. What else we going to do, Adam? Well, we ain't going to have no emergency. It's the stupidest things that they would ask for. Adam, I need a day of rest. Well, my mental health, man. Yeah, it's acting up. Yeah, so, it ain't right. They said you were in a strip club all night. Yeah, man, that messed my head up. I'm mentally out of it today. So, we only play in San Antonio. So, I don't feel like going all the way to San Antonio. I played the Dallas game. I play that game, but I'm going to sit this one out. All right. Yeah, it ain't national TV, so we should be good. All right. I'll talk to you later. Click. Yeah, I got more time. Let's get back to the strip club. They've been running over Adam Silver like crazy. Running over him like a Mack truck. And he just sits there and smiles and just says, oh, my boys. He like the dad and doggone Brady Bunch getting ran over. Now, we're going to talk about this on the Patreon. So that is going to be discussed on the Patreon. That person right there. That's Patreon material right there. And we're going to get into that. And that's going to be quite explosive. So everybody loves old pasty guy over here. Oh, Adam Silver Slipper. Well, with all the meetings that's going on, everybody's talking behind everybody's back. You would think that this was something that was a detraction for the league, when in reality, they need to be trying to step it up, but they're trying to appease sports gambling. Sports gambling has ruined sports. It has definitely ruined the game. Now that they've made it legal and everybody can do it from their phones, they've damaged the game beyond repair. Okay, because now everybody can gamble. And now it's like you ain't got to go nowhere to find a bookie. What in the hell do you need a bookie for now? Bookies, that whole job title is removed. They'd be like, you can go to mybookie.com now. It's all illegal. So now, instead of a guy with a leather jacket coming over with a baseball bat breaking your legs, you got to go borrow from the banks to get the money so you can bet online. People with gambling problems, it's not helping them. They got gambling right on their phone. They try to make a call. Here comes an ad telling them to gamble from the actual games. They got all their favorite players advertising gambling. So how are you going to send a player through Gamblers Anonymous when all you're doing is sending this down and shoving it down his throat? Oh, I know some gamblers, buddy. Dude, you ever see a gambler, a real gambler, and somebody that just loves to gamble 24 hours a day? The bet, it don't even matter about the money. It's just the betting throughout the game. I mean, you're betting every possession live in the game with money in their hand, and they just making bets. Come on, I bet you hit this free throw. I bet you hit this free throw. No, I bet he hit it. Right now. It's probably $5 on this possession. They score this possession. I bet you right now. Come on, you gotta hurry up. Quick. These bets are going down every time somebody touched the ball. I was a part of these bets. And then he was like, hey man, how are you getting this? Is your TV on a delay? Turn your volume up. I want to hear where you at in the game. Because you ain't never won this many in a row. All right, I bet he missed one of these free throws. Come on, right now. $1 on the free throws. $1 free throws. Come on. Yeah, I have been a part of somebody who was doing exactly that. I get a phone call and I'll be like, yep, that's him. No, don't answer. He's trying to get bets during the game. And he's trying to get all three of us on a three-way call so he could bet everybody while this game is going on. I just want to watch the game and enjoy it. I do not want to be doing in-game bets with him. All right, come on, right there. Oh, no. You down two because he missed that free throw. Yep, it's down one. All right, we up $1. All right, come on. All right, we down. Let's bet $5. $5 on this possession. $5. Did they score right here? Any bucket. Well, they get fouled. Okay, well, if they get fouled, they go to free throw line, and it's $250. If they score on the free throw line. I was like, oh, my God. Insane betting. And that was before the sports app. I pray to God he's not on the sports app right now. He probably got every prop bet going right now. I bet right now he get the rebound on the jump ball. That's the first part of the parlay. Boston got to win the tip. Then I got that this guy get one basket. All he got to do is get one goddamn basket, and the parlay is still alive. That's how Mike was. Yeah, Mike's insane. That's why when I put that on our Instagram, everybody's mad at me for my Michael Jordan birthday message that I put out. That's what it was based upon. I mean, I knew the guy was a scumbag, but hey, it is what it is. Scumbags got to eat too. Well, no, they're next year. They want to do the NBA versus, the 3-point challenge. They want that. They want to incorporate that more into the game. Steph Curry don't want to do that again. Yeah, a lot of people felt that in this climate, in this way, and what went down, there's a lot of people who are it's a lot of things going on. The Toronto plane crash that went on today. Well, not today, but yesterday. And the dude was filming as he got out of the plane. Nobody died. They were landing the plane, and the plane, they were coming in weird, and they turned all the way over, but everybody was safe, and they made it off of the plane. Um, so I just wanted to say shout out to everybody that survived that over there. Appreciate it. They told everybody to leave their bags. They came with hoses to spray the plane to keep the plane from exploding. They cooled the plane by it being winter time. That helped, you know. Well, what does this do? You got to understand something. This affects travel. With all of this going on right now, and it looks like a lot of uncertainty, who's going to want to get on a plane right now? Well, the right wing, as the plane was landing, the right wing came off, which caused the plane to turn over. It was 80 people on the plane, but everybody survived, and that's the beautiful part about it. The National Basketball Association is thinking more abroad. They have this tournament they want to do in Paris and another one they want to do in London. So the meeting also went into those. Um, yeah, that's what I was saying. The NBA's future is looking more international, and that's why they want Adam Silver there for this transition. But they wondered why LeBron James Jr. was not at All Star Weekend. Why isn't? Which is a very good question. Why wasn't he a rising star? Why wasn't he a rising star? Why wasn't he one? You spent all this money marketing him. The board was asking a lot of questions that made a lot of sense. When did you find out LeBron wasn't going to play? And why weren't you notified in enough time to have a replacement like Ja Morant? That was a good way to get Ja Morant into the game. Ja Morant is the third most popular person in the NBA, and he's not in your All-Star game. That doesn't make any sense. So it's the board is looking at numbers. They move the needle. Bronny James, in any capacity, was moving the needle on social media. Why wasn't he in the Rising Stars? What that would have highlighted the Rising Stars. Hell, I don't even know who was a rising star. Who are they? The rising unknown stars. So that's just how it was, man. It was very I would say educational. The board actually brought up last year, like, why they did not make that guy get rid of that name NBA Youngboy. Because every time the kids were typing in NBA, this rapper would come up, NBA Youngboy, and we're attaching this person to our brand. Make him take our brand down because we don't want to brand ourselves with his version of music. We don't want NBA Youngboy. We're not promoting him. We're not backing him. We got to make him take the NBA out of his name. So they've been doing good at doing that lately, but then here he goes back to NBA Youngboy. So instead of NBA Youngboy, now he's Youngboy Never Broke Again. Because he was, basically impeding on their trademark. Right. They're promoting Jello because Jello is the brother of Lonzo Ball, and he's doing this marketing thing. He got this hit song that these young people listen to. So they're saying this is the market we got to do. We got to promote it. Steph Curry's idea. Oh, he's got another song that sounds just like it, and he's going to drop that too. I think it's called like Back That Ass Up. Yep, same song. I didn't think that song was hot at all. Yes. Now, Anthony Edwards, they like him, but that's not uh, somebody they're ready to give the league to at all. He's just entertaining with the microphone. So they keep him in the rotation on social media and everything else. Steph Curry. That's what I call it, the Steph Curry weekend. This was his brainchild. This is his putting this together, and they had a decent crowd in there. It wasn't a sellout. The NBA has allowed the media to go off on LeBron James. Well, all the best things that happen in the All-Star game happen outside of it. When the players are just on the court while they're going on these long ass commercial breaks and people are just standing around. If you bought a ticket and you spent money, it was a lot of dead time. It's people that's been complaining all on social media talking about why these guys are just standing there. Why they not playing? Why they not playing? That was the talk. Why they not shooting the ball? Why they just standing there? That was what was going on. Something else they didn't show you. Let me show you something else that you didn't see because they were on commercial break all the time. I'm going to show you that since we're here. Let me show you something that happened All-Star Weekend. Look at this. Steph Curry goes to Kyrie Irving and said, please show me that move. Show me your moves. Teach me how to do it. So Steph wants to know how Kyrie does these moves near the rim and how he gets to his spot and how is he able to get that position. So Steph Curry is using this time to learn from Kyrie Irving how to do these certain moves. Because he was like, I've watched you do these moves, like you stand all the way out and you come up and you score the basketball. Now, the people who are in the stadium, they're like, okay, when are we going to see a game? These people are just standing around for like 20, 30 minutes. And Kyrie is there teaching him the game and giving him nuggets to get better. Instead of saying, I'm going to keep my secrets to myself, he's paying the game forward. That's what you're supposed to do. More proof Steph didn't play in the hood. No, he did not. He was in every NBA camp you could think of. Chris Paul's camp, like all these camps to get him ready. Like right before he went to Davidson, he was in Chris Paul's camp again down in LA. But his ability to play is dynamic. Like he's a dynamic player. We can't take that away from him. But he got to understand something, dog. You have not been around black culture at all. You have not been a part of black culture. And we're going to go into the whole other thing that he's going up against. And that's been noticed. And it's out there now. It's Steph saying and pulling rank over him. And he don't really like Steph. And it's going down. Shea and Steph are not vibe. They don't vibe well because Shea wants to take him out. That's it. You got to go. He's old school. And he looks at it like that's just competition. You the guy that got in top of the West. Like you're Steph Curry, right? I want to beat you. You play my position. You're the point guard of your team. You're the superstar. I feel I'm a bigger star and I feel I'm a better player than you. So I want to take you out when I play you. I'm there to take you out. So when Golden State plays OKC, believe me, you better mark that date. Because this is a whole inner battle that's taking place that y'all don't know about, and it's gone down to the families. Oh, yes, sir. So don't forget to like this video. Hit the like button. The Cash App is Cardcino. As soon as I learned about the meeting yesterday, I told you guys about it. Told you some of the key points that was mentioned in the meeting that they're discussing. Well, Steph and LeBron playing on the same team, that was not realistic. It wasn't going to happen. But the Luka Doncic move was a move that was going to be made eventually, and now more than anything quicker, because they're going into this new deal. The new face of the league is going to be Luka Doncic. They're going to make this all about Luka going into the next season. You can't have a 40-year-old man be the face of your franchise. It does not make sense, especially going into a $76 billion marketing deal. Because if this TV rights deal and the ratings stay where they are right now, oh, that TV rights deal they're going to take the biggest dip in the history of mankind. So all those contracts, the NBA is going to have to pay out. And if they dip even a little bit, let's say 76 turn into 50, that's it. Some teams going to shut down. Well, what you expect? I know, right? So once again, don't forget to subscribe to my Patreon, because I'm going to explain to you everything about who that Chinese individual is right there on your screen that you're seeing right there. Boom. You're going to know about him, what he has to do with the NBA, what he had to do with the NBA, what's going on there, because that's the other domino. That's the other domino. Now, we're going to talk about that on the Patreon, and you're going to know, and then it's going to start. You're going to be able to piece together a lot of stuff after this. After you know who this is, what he did, what happened. Oh, yeah, we got a lot to discuss. But let me go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.